I'll just share my screen. There you go. Okay. Good morning there, and good evening from the Philippines. You would remember me from the first meeting. I am Vic. No, our facilitator last meeting was Benjamin. He's here, and Erica is also here. So last meeting, just a brief recap of what we discussed. That was the very first the introduction to the Filipino culture series, where we discussed the basic information about the Philippines, the population, the land area, where it is, and where it is against the vis-a-vis all the other countries in the world. And we also briefly discussed the Filipino language, where we got to introduce ourselves using in the Filipino language. Ako si Vic at magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. I am Vic. Good evening to everyone. And we also discussed some Filipino traits. So moving on, we are moving on to a next topic, which is I entitled this session, Suki, Tiangge, Tawad, Market, Bargaining, Money Matters in the Philippines. If you will notice, there's an old photograph of an old exchange venue in the Philippines. That's the Divisoria. Divisoria is known for the market there. Where all the products from the other regions, all the products from the other provinces are brought there to be distributed to Metro Manila and in nearby provinces of Metro Manila. So moving on, I'd like to introduce to you how in the Philippines we manage exchanges, how we manage, how do we buy things, how do we go to market. So just to give you idea, my dear students, where are you? Let's start this session with a guessing game, a brief guessing game. I'll show you a product and you'll guess the price, in dollars. Okay. Let's see. How about these jerseys, Jordan jerseys? How much do you think it costs here?
24.
How much?
$24.
$24. Okay. Who else?
Someone said $30.
Someone said $30? Okay.
Yeah, on the
$5.
chat.
We have $5 here from Natalia. Alexa saying $40.
$40.
Zero. Emily goes $0.
Okay.
Emily, I'm sorry, you're kind of too optimistic.
$1,000. Okay,
$1,000. Sure. Okay. Maybe you should have said these were knockoffs.
Yes. Okay, so these are knockoffs, and you can find these in some shopping centers in Metro Manila. One of them is Green Hills. The other is Divisoria. One is also Baclaran. These are markets, big markets in Metro Manila. These are the only difference between this and the real ones, the original ones, is that they are the original ones and these are knockoffs. You would hardly notice the difference. These are from China. Most of them are from China. These jerseys cost around $6. 300 pesos. $6. Even less than $6. Okay. How about this one is tilapia. Freshwater fish. Actually, pretty much tilapia is eaten in around the world. From the originally tilapia are from the Middle East. They were just introduced here in the Philippines, and now they're the living creatures in our rivers. All the other endemic species are gone. Only tilapia and carps remain. So tilapia, when we buy tilapia in the market, we buy them per kilogram. So how do you think is how much do you think is a kilo of tilapia?
Mm-hmm.
I checked this afternoon.
Okay, we have $2, we have $3, we have $7 from Luna. Do I hear a 10? We got $8 from Emily, $10 from Rachel. Do I hear a 15? A joke. A dollar from Natalia. AD is one. Okay, fine. Sorry.
So
$5 from Jack.
Okay.
a kilo is
Okay.
2.2 pounds.
Yes. Okay, so a kilo costs around $7, 350 pesos. Based on the last check that I did this afternoon, it's 350. So it's
Oh.
around
Yeah, that's so expensive.
$7.
Wow.
Expensive. Expensive. These are medium-sized tilapia, so I think a kilo would have 6 pieces, 6 tilapias in there.
Okay.
Can feed a family actually. No.
Nice.
Okay. Last
Someone
product.
got it right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think someone got it right.
Yeah.
Luna. Yeah.
Is
Luna.
piaya.
Oh dear God.
Piaya is a product from the Negros provinces of the Philippines where sugarcane is grown and harvested. So the main ingredients of piaya, aside from flour, is sugarcane. These are sweet delicacies. They look like they're basically bread, but they're sweet inside. There's a filling made of sugar. So this one is flavored ube, purple yam. How much do you think a pack of piaya, bongbong's piaya, because it is the most popular of them, uh, uh, costs? So bongbong's piaya is not actually not my favorite, but I love their other products. So any guess?
We have $2, $6, $3, $2, a dollar, $4.
Someone got it right. This
Mm.
costs $3 because 150 around 150 pesos.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Usually they're sold at 3 packs per bigger packs, no? So that's 150 pesos. That's $3. No, so yeah. So I showed you these 3 products to give you an idea how much how things are given value in the Philippines. How how do we assign costs or monetary value in the things that we buy? For example, if we go to Japan, everything's in thousands, right? So so this is how generally how things costs in our markets. So going to markets, let me introduce you to the Philippine markets. We call our markets palenque from the Spanish palenque or wooden stockade, particularly for public festivals and similar purposes. Similarly, palenque may not be a building, but just a cluster of tables for selling. The tables we call patag. No? In the Filipino, uh, these are tables on which produce are placed for selling. You know? So this one is the Paco public market at the heart of the Metro Manila. Really beautiful market building. I think it's being restored now. I think it's restored already. Benjamin, you know?
Is this Paco?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been restored.
It's been restored, no?
I think there's a bit of a problem with the area right now, but for all intents and purposes, the Paco Public Market has been restored to its former glory.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we say public market in the Philippines, it's really a building where everything is in there, no?
Mhm.
From the next slide will show you from from fish, meat, vegetables, fruits, dried fish, preserves, everything. Everything is in there, including hand-me-down clothes. Look at the other photo at the lower left. So a palenque is every town, every city has a palenque, has a public market where people can come to get all their basic needs. You know? There are smaller versions. For example, a smaller version of the palenque is called the talipapa. You know? We call this the talipapa may not have everything, but the most basic of our needs can be there. If you need food, for example, the talipapa can give you that. Fish and meat are the most basic things that you will find in these places. There's also a smaller version, but usually for in the Philippines, we have the towns. They're just like counties, and the towns are divided into villages, and each villages have their own has its own small market. Okay. For basic needs, also we have the maglalako or the peddlers. No? As a kid, I used to wait for the magtataho. For example, if you will take a look at the man on the lower right, he has these two aluminum containers. That's taho. That's soya curd. It's sweet and it has its own sauce and what do you call it? The sago. No, the sago. It's sweet and the children love them. On the other, on the right, on the left portion, you have the ice cream guy. Our version of the ice cream truck, but here it's ice cream cart. A maglalako usually sells a particular product that has a regular route and thus selling on a regular frequency. So if you're at home, you would probably know what time the magtaho would pass by your place. So you can wait for him and call his attention if you want to buy a glass of taho. Another concept that I want to share with you is the Philippine Market Day. Outside the capital, Metro Manila, a market day is assigned to each town so that retailers and farmers from other places, nearby places, may come, set up stalls, and sell products. The public markets of towns outside large cities are usually empty 6 days a week. No? But at a particular day, at an assigned day, the public market will get filled with sellers, with vendors. They're not from that particular place. They're from other places. They have their vegetables, they have their fruits, they have their fish, their meat, everything. And people from that particular place would go to the market and get all their needs for the whole week. So that the next time that they get to buy from the market would be the next market day. Okay. Another concept we have in the Philippines is the tiangge, from the Spanish Mexican tianguis. The tiangge is it's not like the market, the public market, but it's as noisy as the public market. But you all have the dry goods there. Your clothes, either knockoffs or original ones. You have your mobile phones there. You can get your bags. You can get almost everything that you want for your daily. If you're working, you can get all your clothes from there. In Metro Manila, for example, we have a number of tiangges. They're usually inside a mall. They're given a big space. sellers may rent a, a stall and sell things that they want to sell there. You will notice here, this example is from Vera Mall, no, in Green Hills, a place here in Metro Manila, in Manila. We go there for you'll go there for that Jordan jersey, the knockoff Jordan jersey for 300 pesos or $6. We love this. We love this. The ukay-ukay, the stores, an array of stores of second-hand clothes from outside the Philippines. It's not unique to the Philippines. African countries do this also. Usually, there are two types of hand-me-down clothes being sold in ukay-ukay. No? First are the surplus from garments collected from other countries. You know, they are reprocessed and they are medicated so that they get disinfected. But many of these clothes are also overruns, factory overruns from known brands. So you'd be very lucky to get, you know, your favorite brands here. The clothes here are sold at a very, very low price. If you'll notice, there's a price tag there. Ladies t-shirt, it says 65 pesos. That's just a little more than $1 for a shirt. So ukay-ukay, this is a popular destination for Filipino shoppers. Here's a research I want to share with you, recently conducted. It says that Filipinos enjoy haggling. You know, haggling is not unique in the Philippines. We haggle anywhere, in every possible country we may be. We do haggling. But in the Philippines, 56% of Filipinos enjoy negotiating for lower prices and get an average discount of 21% when they succeed in haggling. Between men and female, it's the men who love haggling more, but interestingly, it's the women who get the higher discount. No, they get around 21%. Men get 15 to 17% discount of as the outcome of their haggling spree. Okay. To share with you some terminologies we usually use in shopping, in buying, especially in markets, in tiangges. In the Philippines, we have the idea of the suki. The suki is a loyal or dedicated customer. It is also it may also mean a loyal or dedicated store. For example, you're a suki if you have this favorite boutique where you get your clothes from. But the boutique also consider you a suki because you are you find the store convenient for you. All your needs can be found there. The suki. Remember that, the suki. So if you have a favorite store, you can call that your suking store, your suki store. Next is the concept of the tawad, or to bargain or to haggle. Tawad. The word tawad comes from tawad, which means forgiveness. No? To forgive. In the Philippines, we also use it to bargain, to haggle, patawad. We also express the word tawad when we are asking for permission, when we are when we are trying to politely excuse ourselves from a group, for example, or a conversation. Tawad can be a way of saying sorry. Sorry, but can you please lower your price? Sorry, but can I have it at a cheaper rate, just like that. In the Philippines, the maximum discount rate is 50%. It's kind of funny, but that's where we start, 50%. If the product is sold at 300 pesos, we usually ask, can I get it for 150? So that's where the negotiation would start. Then 150 becomes 200, 200 becomes 220, 220 becomes 230, until a price where you and the seller agree. Another terminologies are here. So when you're in the Philippines and you're buying something, these are the basic terminologies that you'll need to know. For example, magkano, for how much? Magkano, for how much? The root word for this is ano, what? What is the price? Magkano. And then when you're asking about the quantity, about the number, you're asking how many, you say ilan. Ilang shoes, no? Ilang sapatos ang kailangan mo? How many shoes do you need? How many kilos of tilapia you want to buy? Ilang kilo ng tilapia ang gusto mong bilhin? How many kilos of tilapia you want to buy? How many packs of bread do you need? Ilang supot ng tinapay ang kailangan mo? No? So ilan. It's actually one of the basic questions in the Philippines. Ilan. No? So we start with magkano, how much. Next is ilan, how many. So the answers may be marami or many. We are talking about quantity here. So marami, many. Ilan may be answered by a concrete number, like ilan, how many, and the seller will give you, or you will give the answer 3, or just a general concept, marami, many, ilan, marami. Another answer may be kaunti, or a few, too few, or too little, kaunti. No? Kaunti lang, just a little. If not kaunti, it's marami, it's many. Okay? So ilan, maybe marami or kaunti. Few for kaunti, many for marami. Magkano may be answered by indicating the price, say for example, $2 or 100 pesos. But it may also be answered by, oh, mahal, expensive. No? Mahal. Interestingly, mahal is also a Filipino word for love. Mahal kita, I love you. So we put value when we say a particular thing is mahal, it means valuable. It's not just expensive, but it's valuable also. That's why when we say we love the person, we mahal the person. No? Mahal namin itong, mahal ko ang taong ito. I love this person. So it's not just a monetary value, but or monetary equivalent, but it's also the value that we give to a person or an object or whatever. No? The opposite of mahal is mura. Mura. It means inexpensive. It means cheap. It's not too costly. So in the market, that the objective is to get all the mura items, the inexpensive items. You know? Haggling's objective is to bring down the price so that the mahal becomes mura. You know? The expensive becomes inexpensive, or something that's justifiable. The value is justifiable. Mura. Now, between mahal and mura is sapat, the right price. Sapat is also, it also means just enough. Sapat na. Actually, sapat is also a value give to objects or persons we value in life. For example, this person is sapat for me. You alone is enough for me. You know? In terms of endearment, for example. So sapat means right price, just enough. You know? So in bargaining and negotiations in the market, we take note of magkano, how much, ilan, how many, marami, many, kaunti, too few or too little, mahal, as expensive, mura, cheap or inexpensive, sapat, right price or just enough. And after all the negotiations, we always end with salamat. No? Salamat, thank you. No? I think it's Amina here from Malaysia. They also use salamat. No? Thank you. As, in Indonesia. Okay, so salamat, thank you, is also a way of ending a long and arduous, arduous bargaining or negotiation. You know, as a gesture of gratitude for you let me buy your things at a cheaper price, so thank you. You know? Okay. Any question? If ever there are questions? Nothing? Okay. Some tips in bargaining in the Philippines. As I've said earlier, bargaining isn't unique to the Philippines. Anywhere bargaining is done. You know? As long as there's a market, there's bargaining. Especially with products that are difficult to quantify, products that are difficult to be given a particular price. For example, a tuna in Japan may be very, very expensive compared to a tuna in the Philippines. No? So in the Philippines, I think, oh no, I don't want to share with you the price now because it's in a quiz that we're gonna do later. So, but in the Philippines, there are certain general tips, no? in negotiation or in bargaining, in haggling for lower price. Of course, first and foremost, you have to be friendly. If you will be very strong, you come strong, the sellers may not like you and will not let you buy their products at cheaper price. No? And it helps to bring with you a local for a guide or someone who may, even if the Philippines generally can understand and speak English, it helps to, if you're a foreigner in the Philippines, a good chance is you'll be given a really, really expensive rate, no? For products that are being sold to you. So you would, it's not unique also to the Philippines, but it happens to many foreigners. Even us, when we're not in the Philippines, we are also things are also sold to us at a really high price, no? So that a local may help you bridge the conversation between you and the seller. No? Third is that nothing beats a good conversation and rapport with the seller. Befriend the seller. Actually, it always, in my experience, it's always beneficial to make friends, no, with sellers. Tell or trick them you'll be coming back more often, and make them your suking tindahan. We've discussed suki earlier. They're your loyal store, and you are their loyal customer. So if you're new in the place, they will offer you this. You are welcome in this store. No, they will make you feel welcome to their store, so that a good chance is you will be drawn back to buy from them more than in any other store. So you can tell or trick them, you'll be coming back more often, even if I think you'll not come back naman. No? So compare their products or prices with another's. So, in that store, this shirt costs $3. Why are you selling them to me for $5? So it may work. But if the negotiation isn't working, and you see that there's another shirt that you also want, that you also find nice, if they can't lower the price to you, ask for extra or inclusions. Say, for example, if the shirt you want to buy costs $3 and the other shirt is also costs $3, you may ask, I'll get these 2 shirts for $4. No? Instead of asking the seller to give you the shirt for $1.50. So give me the 2 shirts for $4. Okay? And then last, if haggling doesn't work, move to the next stall, because in the Philippines, it's most likely that you'll get a store that will, give in to all your pleas, to your haggling pleas. Okay? Questions? None? Okay, so let's move on. In the Philippines, we use the Philippine peso for buying, for everything. Now, this is our money. We have new designs. They're very, very colorful, sometimes
Vic.
confusing. Yes.
Hey, Vic, we do have a quick question from Karen Campos to everybody. She says, have you bargained before?
Now, that's a nice question for everyone. Maybe the student, everyone may answer, may share a brief answer to that. Or is it a question for me? I've always bargained.
To ask, yeah.
Karen, who is it? Who is that? Who is that geared towards, Karen?
I guess to any one of you in the Philippines, if you've
Oh,
bargained.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really bad. I'm really, really, really bad at it, though. It never works for me. It never. Okay.
It always
Standard.
works for me.
Yeah.
Always
I was
works for
able to get an entertainment system, that speakers and everything. It was supposed to cost 120,000 pesos. I got it for 100,000 pesos.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about $400 less. Am I correct? Yeah. Okay.
The thing is, especially in the bigger markets like Divisoria or Baclaran or Quiapo, the prices that they quote are not actually the sellers know that you're going to haggle anyway. So they're already pricing the prices that they are indicated on the signs are already higher than you average. So it's like, okay, how much is this kilo of fruit? Then they'll say it's 100 pesos. And then the moment you make a face like, you're not even gonna say anything yet. Then they'll say, oh, but for you, we'll sell it for 80. And that's when the real haggling starts.
Yeah. What's your craziest bargaining experience?
I'm out.
Okay. There's a practice here in the Philippines called Buena Mano.
the first customer.
Yeah, which basically means in Spanish it's the good hand or something.
Yes.
But here it means you're the first customer. So if you go early to the stores and you so happen to be the first customer, you can kind of set the price, and that will give the seller some good luck. Yeah. So Yeah, when coming over, when shopping, try and go to the stores early to get the best prices and to get the goods. Yes, B Benjamin.
Just want to add, if you're the first customer here and you pay up, what a custom usually practice here is they get your money and then they kind of like, I don't know, like wave or like touch
Yeah.
the produce or whatever with your money. A sort of like, okay, this is the first sale of
Ritual.
the day. It's a ritual. You're kind of like blessing you're blessing your products with good luck or something like that. The first time I saw that, I was like, because I bought fish.
Oh,
It
okay.
happens. It happens.
Yeah. So there are all these superstitions here with regard to bargaining also.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Our bargaining are influenced by many other cultures. For example, the Chinese.
Mm.
In stores, you'd find the cat that goes like this,
The-
right? Yeah.
it's a,
For good luck, right? The Chinese are if the store is owned by the Chinese, you'd have a long negotiation, haggling negotiation. If it's a Filipino, um, we also have to consider the socioeconomic stature of the one selling. No, sometimes I don't negotiate if I know that the seller um is just a seller. No,
yeah.
you have the seller, you have a middleman, and you have the producers. If you are buying from farmers, you there's a good chance that you'll get a really good discount because they are the ones who planted them, harvested them, tended the crops, and these are their produce. And usually the farmers don't they don't have that acuity for pricing their produce. So you'd
Right.
also need to help them have a better rate at selling their products.
Okay,
So
Vic. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Let's start practicing. Let's start practicing. How we'll be bargaining, right? With all the money and things like that.
okay. You
Okay.
mean let's move on?
Yeah.
Let's just do the okay. Okay. So in the Philippines, we use the Philippine peso. The exchange rate now is around 55 pesos for a dollar. So we have bills for 1,000, 500, 200, 150, and 20. We have coins for 20 pesos, 10 pesos, 5 pesos, and 1 peso. All the other coins, the cents, we don't actually mind them. The value of these coins, 25, 10, and 5 and 1 cents are usually they work at they're functional in the banks, but not in generally in stores. Although we in the Philippines we have the sari sari store. The sari sari stores are small stores in the villages where you can find almost the most basic things that you need in at home. Uh, these are retail stores. If in the groceries you can find a liter of say ketchup, in the sari sari stores you can find ketchup sold in sachets, in packs, in smaller packs. So we will also have to consider that the Philippines isn't composed of the middle class. No, the Philippines is relatively poor in its socioeconomic condition. So we have to make things available in smaller portions. Say you can buy vinegar at 20 milliliters. That's just a small pack of vinegar that costs around 5 pesos. Um, that's accessible and that's affordable to uh, those who are really poor. No? So these are the Philippine. This is the Philippine peso. Okay. In the Philippines, we pretty much we express our the value of our money in English, but just to give you an idea of how we call our money, or the value of our money in Filipino. 1,000 is sanlibo because libo is 1,000. Sanlibo because isa, san, isang. 1,000 is libo, isa, one is isa. So isang libong piso. 500 is 500 because 5 is lima and 100 is daan. No? 500 piso. 100 piso is 100, and then 50 piso. I will introduce you to numbers later. 50 piso, 50 is 50 piso, 20 is 20 piso, 10 is 10 piso, 5 5 piso, and 1 peso is actually piso. No? Why peso? Because we've been under Spain for more than 3 centuries, and we acquired their the Spanish peso. Okay. It's quite interesting to let you know that numbers in Filipinos are expressed in 2 ways. No, these ways are dependent on 2 factors. One is function. Are you trying to quantify things? Are you counting, or are you setting things in a sequence? For example, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or is it first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, etc. Because of this, we have informally and quite naturally devised the expressions by using Tagalog and Spanish numbers. For example, numbers in Filipinos, 1 is isa, 2, dalawa, 3, tatlo, 4, apat, 5, lima, 6, 4, 6, 7 is pito, 8 is walo, 9 is siyam, 10 is 10. Now, where do these number expressions come from? We are very much influenced by the Malayo-Polynesian languages. We are influenced by the Sanskrit of the India and the Arabs. That's why our numbers are also are quite close to how the Malaysians and the Indonesians express their numbers in Bahasa. No, you will notice also that when after 10, the numbers from 11 to 19 would have the prefix labing. Labing isa, labing dalawa, labing tatlo. This is the value after 10. No, labing isa, labing labi, because labi is more being it takes root from the 10, from the 10. So more than 10, 1 more than 10 is labing isa. 10, 2 more than 10, 2 added to 10 is labing dalawa, 3 added to 10 is labing tatlo. So that when you go to 20, you will have dalawampu. 10 is isa na pu, ikapu, pu is 10, isampu is 10, and then dalawampu is 20. No? So it's a little difficult to understand at first glance, but I think if you will try to review things later, you will find that it's really easy. No, it's just like the English version of the numbers. No, so for example, 21 is 21. 20 plus isa, 20 being 20, isa being 1. So 20 isa because 20 at isa. 20 and 1. At is our word for end. At. At is our word for end. So 20 at isa. It means 20 and 1. Sige, let's have a quick
Practice round.
practice for this. Say, for example, 27. Who can translate 27 into Filipino? Anyone? 27? If 21 is 21, 27 is what?
Dalawamput-pito.
Yes! Very good. How about 58? 58.
58.
Yes.
Correct. Yes, 58. Let's try 93.
Siyawampu tatalo?
Yes. Siyam-na-put-tatlo. Siyam-na-put-tatlo.
Okay. Maybe we
Okay.
can try. Who would like to volunteer to try reading the numbers 1 through 10?
I could try.
Go for it.
Okay. Isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim, pito, walo, siyam, sampu.
Very good.
Nice,
Yep.
nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Okay. Move on. Let's move on. Okay. So that's how we express Filipino numbers if we mean quantity. So dalawang baso, two glasses, 4 tablets, 4 na tabletas, 5 kilo for 5 kilos. But if you mean sequence, we use the Spanish number. 1, 2, 3, because in the Philippines, when you say second in the native language, it's very long. Ikadalawa, ikalawa, ikatlo, ikaapat. So sometimes you would hear people saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but we spell it in the Filipino way. We spell it in the Austronesian and Malayo-Polynesian influenced way of spelling things. In the Philippines, we pronounce every vowel, so that if you spell cuatro the way Spanish would spell it, the Spanish would spell it cuar, cuatro, you would probably hear it in the Philippines cuarto. So you have to spell it cuarto because the diphthongs would always need the consonant W or Y in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is also how we express value of the prices. For example, how much is that? 50. How much is this? 5 pesos. 11 pesos lang. 13 pesos. Seldom we would hear 13 piso yan, no? For 13 pesos. It's like, it's kind of anachronistic. It's outdated if you would hear 15 piso yan, 16 na piso. You would hear 15 pesos, 16 pesos, 18 pesos. So pretty much like in any other countries influenced by Spain. No? So we express numbers in Spanish numbers when we when we express value or prices or rates. We also use uno, dos, tres if it's a sequence. If we say uno, ikaw ang una, ikaw ang ikalawa, ikaw ang ikatlo, we also say uno, dos, tres, or segunda and tercera. In my region, for example, the districts are called segunda distrito, tercer distrito, cuarto distrito, instead of ikalawa, ikatlo, ikaapat. So we are bridging, we are utilizing, actually maximizing the expression of numbers and quantities and sequences and even qualities between the Filipino native language and the Spanish, the borrowed Spanish language. Okay? Let's try to haggle. Okay. Here, I need the help of Erica and Benjamin here. Okay. So let's simulate haggling. I'll show some products and anyone may haggle. No? Anyone may haggle, and you may help me in deciding whether to give the product or not. For example, you see a manga shirt and shorts, a pair of them, at a price of $6 for the top and $4 for the shorts.
Mahal. Expensive.
Mahal.
Is it?
Magkano?
$6 for the top, $4 for the shorts.
Ay, ano ba yan? Ano ba yan? Nagmahal. Translation. My God, it's expensive. Sorry.
Anyone would like to haggle? Suggest the price, maybe?
In English?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
5 for the shirt.
5 for the girl. Start.
I'll give you.
Okay. 3.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
3. Okay. I'll give it to you for 5 for the top and 2 for the shorts if you get the shorts. 2.
Okay, since I'm getting the shorts too, I could get 4 for the top and 3 for the shorts. Oh, 2. I forgot how much you said for the shorts. I'm really bad at this.
It was a good try. It was a good try.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Nice try, actually.
It was a nice try.
I'm too shy to haggle for like. I'll be like, okay.
No. Jessica, Jennifer, you gotta hack it here because honestly, the vendors, especially in the Changes and the markets, they kind of overprice already because they anticipate.
Yes.
So you gotta dive in, and if you're too shy to say 50%, I don't know. You can go 75. You can, or at least pull a face.
Yeah.
I mean, as in like, huh? Try to look like you're shocked, like they insulted your ancestors by giving you that price. They'll probably lower it right there and then.
Like show emotion, or you could just be like,
just be shocked or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
It actually helps that you show that haggling becomes a personal experience. No, It's not just you haggle because you want to haggle, but you haggle because you need to haggle. We have to take note that Filipinos haggle because we need to haggle. That's a reality here also. So we want the prices, we want the lower prices because we need to have more value for our money. No? So actually the haggle that you want to ask for the shirt for 4 and the shirts for 2 was a nice try. No? It's a nice try. Okay.
I'd also like to add to Vic's thing. When you haggle, it's kind of a game also. You can think of it as getting the most bang for your buck. So haggle is just really getting the most value for your money. And So do we have any more for haggling?
Okay na,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. This is what the pair of the top and shorts are actually cute. It's from Ponyo, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second
As
product is a more
some people here pointed out, I saw Panyo, lol.
Ponyo. Okay. Okay, the second product is a little serious, more serious. Banana. This is a banana which we use for cooking,
Oh,
much like
yeah.
similar to plantains.
Yeah.
No, it's different from plantain, eh. So it's
No, it's
the
plantain.
saba. We call
No, but it is a plantain. It is a plantain.
yeah.
Okay. Magkano?
120 peso per kilo. I use kilogram. I was surprised to discover that we have plantains for 120 peso a kilo this afternoon.
So who'd like to haggle?
Anyone here who eat plantain? I eat
Sofritos and
plantains a
stuff.
lot. Yeah.
Who'd like to try and haggle for a kilo of plantains? Hmm.
100 pesos.
Okay.
What?
If I offer 100 pesos. Okay.
10 pesos. I'll give you a quarter of the bunch of plantain. Here in the Philippines, you can actually divide that bunch into several sections. So if I just want 5 pieces of plantains, then I can get it for a lower value. But of course, in reality, the value will be divided into several. For example, the one if you buy the whole thing, you will get it at 120 peso per kilo. But if you just want some pieces, you'd probably be given a price of 50 pesos for six pieces of plantains, which makes it more expensive. You know?
Okay.
So this is also an idea of how to buy things that can actually be divided into several portions, several smaller portions. You know? So if you want to buy, for example, eggs, and a tray of egg costs you around 200 pesos, but you just want to buy 15 pieces, then that makes it more expensive. Erica, you want to say something?
Yeah, all right. It's actually past 10 already. So yeah, past 10 on our end. So we've gone over an hour. Do we have any?
Yep.
Just a question. Anyone with a question? This is the last slide actually. $13 a kilo of tuna. But if you have questions, you may just throw the questions now because we are running out of time.
Okay.
Anyway, for the numbers and the values, I'll share with Adrian the slides so that you may want to review how we express numbers and quantities in Filipino. You can always you can have your own reference.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you for a great session. I know you all have some other sessions to it. I know you have some.
Oh, there's a reminder here. Huwag mahihiyang tumawa. Don't hesitate. Don't be shy to haggle. That's my last message.
Thank you
Okay.
so
Okay.
much.